So we have something that says A divided by B. A and B are just representing any number. So if you have some number A divided by some number B. So go ahead and open that up, and we're going to fill in some blanks here. So this first part is going to say dividend. Remember, we talked about that word dividend the other day. That's the number that we're dividing. So dividend divided by divisor. So the divisor is the number that you're dividing by. And then once you do that division, you get your quotient. So it equals the quotient. And quotient is just the answer in a division problem. So if we're using that division symbol right here, an example of that would be if our dividend was 10. So 10 divided by our divisor. Let's say our divisor was 5. And then that would equal 2. So our quotient would be 2. So our dividend divided by our divisor equals our quotient. That's one way of writing division, and you're used to seeing that way. Another way that you're used to seeing, let's just skip down to this one because we're used to seeing this one. And this is our long division symbol. So if we compare that to what we just talked about, if you remember, I always tell you that your first number goes on the inside. So that 10 here is going to go on the inside. And then your second number, the 5, stays on the outside. So, and then our quotient in this kind, the long division, our quotient goes up on the top. As far as this left-hand side, let's talk about the vocabulary here. So again, the vocabulary words are dividend, divisor, and quotient. So this time our dividend goes on the inside. Our divisor goes on the outside. And again, our quotient goes on top. Don't forget, you can always pause the video if you need to. So we have definitely talked about those two types of division a lot. So the first number goes on the inside, the second number stays out. And then recently we've been talking about how the fraction bar is also another way of showing division. So you could have some number divided by another number. And so over here, this would be our dividend and we divide our dividend by our divisor. And then that equals our answer, which in a division problem, we call the quotient. Dividend divided by divisor equals quotient. And so going back to our examples here, this would be the 10 divided by the 5 would equal 2. So these are all the same problem. They're just written 3 different ways. And on STAR, they want you to be able to recognize 2 problems that are the same or are not the same. And so the way I always test this out is I remember that if we're going from this way to this way, remember top in, bottom out. So that's one way to think of it. And then remember we said that the top or the first number goes inside. So the first number goes inside, the top number goes inside. That means your first number, your top number, and your inside number should always be the same. And so that's the way you can test it out. So top number goes inside, first number goes inside. Be careful, because these can trick people. They seem easy, and so people just go quickly and they make careless errors. So go ahead and see what the next thing on Canvas tells you to do. And again, rewatch parts of this if you need to.